It's part of my life and always will be. Sea View Circle, 5 homes on a suburban cul-de-sac whose secrets I came to know. My name is Karen McKenzie, and this is where I lived with my husband Sid and 3 children, a content middle-class family, most of the time.
Either she goes tomorrow, or I do. With the kids.
Gary and Val lived here, from Texas originally, married for a second time to each other.
I don't think that we should live here.
And this is where she lived. Abby Cunningham, bright blonde and between husbands. Abby redefined the B word.
Oh, who cares what Karen thinks?
Those were the neighbors in the special place that we called Knots Landing.
Tonight, you're cordially invited to a get-together in the neighborhood.
Tell me again the name of this place.
Knots Landing.
It was one of the most popular dramas in television history, full of nasty gossip.
Mind your own business!
Steamy affairs.
I'm not saying we're having an affair. I am saying I can have him anytime I want him.
And all the intense drama of suburban life.
I got news for you, Karen. I can make the coffee as well as you can.
Join the cast of Knots Landing as they reunite on television's most famous cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac, dead end. I should have known. Everyone in there's a basket case.
We'll show you our favorite clips.
I liked being a Pollyanna. I want to be a Pollyanna.
Our hilarious bloopers.
Hard to talk when you got in your ears.
And you'll never guess who drops in for a surprise visit. So take off your coat, have a drink, and get friendly with the neighbors.
Bitch.
On Knots Landing Reunion, together again.
Wait a minute. One second. Welcome. Hey, welcome to the Knots Landing reunion, everybody. I'm Michele Lee, and it is so exciting to be back here on television's most famous cul-de-sac. We thought it was time for you, to do a little catching up and visit a television phenomenon that impacted all of our lives. Maybe yours as well. Knots Landing had a terrific run of 14 seasons, one of the 3 longest-running hour dramas in television history. The real success of Knots was how it reflected the life and times of our viewers. As America changed, so did Knots. While you were coping with changing lifestyles, so were Karen, Mac, Gary, and Val. Knots Landing was about families like yours and the folks next door. Now, as you may recall, our storylines got pretty complex, a challenge, even for us. But keeping track was part of the fun. So to get things started, here's a quick recap.
Val and Gary move to Knots Landing.
Gary gets drunk.
Abby arrives and sleeps with everybody.
Gary gets drunk again.
Sid plunges off a cliff and dies.
Gary and Abby go into business together.
Karen meets Mac.
Karen rejects Mary.
Karen marries Mac.
Abby sleeps with Gary.
And sleeps with Gary.
And sleeps with Gary.
Val divorces Gary.
CG arrives, sings a few songs, gets pregnant, and is murdered.
Lily Mae runs over Chip with her car.
Chip falls on a pitchfork and dies.
Abby marries Gary.
Abby sleeps with Greg.
Any complaints?
Karen is shot by a bullet meant for Gary.
Val gets pregnant with Gary's twins.
The twins are stolen by an evil doctor.
Val goes crazy. The twins are found. Val feels better.
Joshua marries Kathy, who looks exactly like CG.
Val marries Ben, who disappears.
Joshua tries to kill Kathy, then falls off a building and dies.
Gary blows up Empire Valley.
Mac's promiscuous daughter Paige arrives and starts sleeping around.
Karen's kidnapped and forced to cut off her own hair.
Abby divorces Gary and gets all his money. Paige is shot by Pierce.
Jill forces Val to swallow sleeping pills.
Jill locks herself in Gary's trunk and dies.
Val marries a rapist who then drowns.
Greg marries Abby and sleeps with Paige.
Greg divorces Abby and sleeps with Paige. Greg marries Paige's mom and sleeps with Paige. You're gonna need vitamins, Pops.
Val marries Gary for the third time.
And after countless affairs and crazy adventures,
We all
came back to the cul-de-sac.
Everybody get that? Well, there's a lot to catch up on. So we'll see you over at the Mackenzie house. But first, the inside story of how Knots Landing got its start.
During the 1970s, there were a few television programs that were dealing with family life. The Waltons is the most famous. There was also 8 is Enough. I had the idea that I might like to do something a little more complex, taking 4 families and putting them together on a cul-de-sac in Southern California. I thought of it as Scenes from a Marriage, which was an Ingmar Bergman movie.
I felt that it needed to be sexier and less serious, less intellectual. We were a very good combination, you know. He liked art, I liked trash, and together we made television. And we brought it into CBS, and we pitched it.
They wanted to do something a little more glitzy, more like a saga. Went home, redid it, and came up with Dallas.
After Dallas became the huge hit that it was, of course, the network called David Jacobs again and said, hey, that show about the married couples on that cul-de-sac, maybe we can move a Ewing into it. And they did. The Ewings of Dallas moved into the cul-de-sac, and we became Knots Landing.
The show was launched on Dallas. Gary and Val were given a house by Miss Ellie.
Bobby's gonna fly to California and show you the houses.
I don't get it.
Whichever house you like best is yours.
No, Mama.
And if you don't like any of them, find another.
Oh, Miss Ellie, we couldn't.
Joni and I did an episode of Dallas one week, and then the next week, Patrick Duffy came over and did an episode of Knots Landing to kind of introduce the show so that we could get some of that Dallas audience.
It's no South Fork.
I know, but it's a home, and it's ours. But tell me again the name of this place.
Knots Landing. That sounds nice.
And there was a lot of pressure to make it more Dallas-like. But the fact is that Knots Landing was a very middle-class show, and Dallas was a very rich show.
The cul-de-sac was almost like a character on the show because it represented America and what our dreams were.
Well, we're the neighborhood Brady Bunch. 3 kids, station wagon, dog. If the dog visits you, call. We'll send over the scoop squad.
There was nothing particularly sensational about their lives. It was common experiences. I think that's why it was successful, probably because people could identify with it.
Terrific. You come home to find your daughter in our bed with some person, and now you won't talk to me because of it.
I'm speaking to you. I just don't want to speak about that.
Terrific. Oh.
Because we were a Dallas spin-off, everybody wanted to know, where was our JR? We decided that when we did have him, he wouldn't be him, but a her.
We felt that we needed the pot story. You can't limit the story to just 4 couples here. Because after a while, I mean, there's nobody left to sleep with.
Unfortunately, Abby was a little too pretty for me. Keep her off my cul-de-sac.
Abby was a middle-class woman, newly separated, whose currency would be sex.
And I thought it was very interesting to cast her in that because Dana Mills had always been the sweet girl. You know, she'd always been the good girl. And she came in and she played the naughty, almost evil sister.
She got to do all the fun stuff, all the naughty stuff. And, I wanted to play a character like that. I didn't want to go on playing the goody two-shoes all the time. That gets boring after a while.
Well, let's get something in perspective, all right, Gary? You and I have invested a lot of time and energy and money in this business, and I would sure hate to see it go down the drain because your wife is jealous of me.
After the second season of Knots Landing, Don Murray did a movie called Endless Love with Brooke Shields, which opened very big.
One day he came to me and he said, I'm thinking of leaving the show. I said, what?
At the end of the second season, it was a cliffhanger in that Sid, some criminals toyed with his brakes in his car and he went off a cliff. And then in the next season, the third season, he was going to be in the hospital and finally recover, but he was going to survive and come back and go on with the show.
If I didn't take this chance, just because I was afraid of a little operation, then I just wouldn't be the same man.
I don't want you to die.
And that's when I suggested, as a way to go, I said, well, now he just doesn't survive.
You didn't do that. You didn't kill off a principal character. And he and Michele were the stars. I mean, they were the ones that everything revolved around. So in a story sense, that was quite a shock.
It blew me away in a brave, creative way. I kind of was exhilarated by it. Missing Don, of course, because he was magnificent, gorgeous, and so talented.
I did feel that his leaving might upset the balance of the show. And I didn't know where it was going to go.
It was really a shock for the audience, and it allowed us to do anything because the audience never knew whether we were going to double-cross them.
You been in here before? One night for drinks?
No.
Well, you should come in some night and hear me sing.
Maybe I will.
If there was one story that really worked for us, it was the CG story, because what it did was it took all the characters and it brought them into one story.
Lisa Hartman joined the show, and she was wonderful. And I think they had hired her initially just to do that year, and she was hired to die at the end of a season.
Having her sing on the show was really fun and brought a whole different feel to the show.
So now I come to you with open arms, nothing to hide, believe what I say.
I had a recording deal at the time, and the album was coming out, and it was just the perfect way to go in and play this really fun character.
When the character died, the audience really missed her, and they were angry that we killed her.
We missed her. We missed her youth. We missed her popularity.
And then I got the call from my agent, and he said they want you to come back on the show, and I thought he was kidding.
She came back as another character, Kathy Geary, CG. So she donned another persona, looked almost exactly alike, and came back again the next year.
CG was dead. Room service waitress is there, and she's bent down getting something out of it.
And a little something extra for yourself.
Thank you. And he kind of does a triple take.
It's CG. She's dead, but she's not dead.
And it was so hilarious and so cool, the way they shot it.
That moment, to me, was one of the most fabulous moments I've ever done. It was fabulous to me because it was such great television.
You just want me to sing because she was a singer.
No, I don't. Now, come on.
Look, I'm not CG.
I know that.
I'm not CG, and I'm never going to be CG.
And I thought, well, this is either going to work or I'm going to be laughed out of the business.
I need to sing. Can't you understand that?
If you need to sing in public, why don't you sing in a church? My character, Joshua, was kind of almost unimaginably earnest guy, as someone who was trying to project these fundamentalist religious views into his own career path. Every day and every night, the news blares out at us unthinkable tragedies. Once we begin to believe that the world is what the news tells us, it's easy to fall into despair.
We were very lucky with Alec. I mean, what he contributed to our show was enormous.
I found an answer, a way out of the trouble that I've plunged us all into. If you just let me come home with you and explain.
Not to my house, you won't. Well, maybe we can find someplace else. Mama, the only place that I will go with him is to a psychiatrist's office. Somewhere where you can get the help that I think you need.
He was a guy who, once he got out into the real world, he got corrupted by it. They kind of played it like he was a little unglued in a way. Say goodbye to Kathy, Joshua. Goodbye, Kathy.
You've been bad. But now you have to be punished.
You know, and when power and influence and ego became the most important thing to him, he, you know, had no choice but to jump off the roof of the building.
I am what you made me.
Oh, stop it! Stop blaming others for your faults. I don't care anymore. I don't care that I was a bad mother. I only care that you have become a monster. And you trample on everybody. You devour everything you touch.
Mama.
No more, Mama. You're not my son. How could I have given birth to anyone as cold, as cruel, as...
I remember I was really sad that I was off the show, not in, you know, in terms of career-wise or economics or whatever. I was sad because I really liked those people.
Because Knots Landing was not the mega hit that Dallas was, we were always struggling.
Dallas came in like thunder, and we crept in quietly.
Our show was always the little engine that could. We would chug along, and we'd get, you know, good ratings, and nobody ever talked about us. It was always Dynasty in Dallas and Dynasty in Dallas.
We were against Hill Street Blues, and it had a strong male audience and a strong male demographic, and we had to get those men back. That's when Kevin came in.
What a mess, Karen. I knew she was trouble the first time she walked through that door, so what'd you do, huh, Mac? You fall for her all the way. Should have taken French in school, cul-de-sac, dead end. I should have known. Everyone in there's a basket case.
David Jacobs and Michael Fileman made it very comfortable for me to do what I wanted to do. Mac was, as I am, comfortable with himself. He was out to help another person understand that life is not as complicated as sometimes we make it out to be. If we take a simple road, we'll be okay.
You can't go around screwing this many people and expect to get away with it.
I'll bet you're not even getting paid for this.
That's always been an issue, isn't it, Greg?
Money? It's always the issue. It floats the boat. They didn't have a real masculine image that was a force of antagonism. They wanted to bring a guy in to stir things up for 8 episodes. It was an 8-episode arc that lasted 9 years. I thought I heard someone splashing around out here.
Well, why don't you join me?
Oh, I never swim in shark-infested waters.
Paige came in to just cause a lot of trouble. She was Mac's daughter, and she started off as the vixen and ended up the heroine.
For years, you have lied and cheated and conned people, and you've gotten away with it. But I am not going to let you get away with this.
You're good. You really are. If I were rating you on the Abby scale, Abby being a 10, you'd be a 6, which is very good considering your youth and ignorance.
Well, I don't judge things on the Abby scale, and neither does Greg.
Women really took to her because she was tough, and she gave Sumner a run for his money.
What a cheat.
It's an article of clothing. Your rules.
Paige and Greg had an off-and-on relationship. It really enticed the audience to want more of them. And I think that was a big reason why that relationship worked, not to mention our chemistry and how much we liked working together. I think it all came across on the screen.
I lose. Is that good or bad?
I was hooked into this show so fast. This was a gold mine of emotional conflict.
It was a very difficult relationship between Paige and her mother because her mother was competitive with her. Her mother would sell her down the river for anything.
I would steal from her. I would come on to her boyfriends, and I marry the man that she's in love with. Where do these writers get this stuff?
You expect me to leave? I expected you to leave weeks ago.
In the middle of the night?
There are plenty of places to go in the middle of the night. Hotels, motels, the airport, the train station, the bus station, the Y, Greg Sumner's bed.
The producers were brave. They created a real town with real people in it. And scratching the surface of those happy couples, you realize they had problems too.
I think Knots Landing exemplified values. No matter what was going on, there was always the theme of good values.
Feelings and the ideas and the issues were universal.
It's the human aspect that doesn't change. That's what's important about Knots Landing.
It was so smart, and it was funny, and it was clever, and it kept you on the edge of your seat.
It was just a blast.
I think that the reason people really took to Knots was because it touched them in a real way.
The true affection that the actors had for each other is one of the reasons Knots Landing was so successful, because you can't fake that.
Because we've been together for 14 years, we shared our lives, our weddings, funerals, all the moments together, so we're connected forever.
To be a part of television history like this is really wonderful. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more in a career. Of all the couples on Knots Landing, Gary and Val Ewing were the cul-de-sacs, Romeo and Juliet. They faced endless troubles and temptations, and I can't deny, Abby was one of them. But despite impossible odds, they managed to keep love alive.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Here we are, right here at the front gate, the front door.
I was just thinking, you know, this gate, it's been here for 25 years. You never changed it.
Yeah, from 79, the pilot. It's all.
Yeah, well, it's 26 years.
Remember the first time we met?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes, it was Wonder Woman.
We did Wonder Woman together.
Initiate project W36978. Open time portal.
Cassandra, what are you doing?
I'm about to make all my knowledge of the 20th century pay off.
No!
Look like a giant silver condom. That's what your costume made you look like. I never told you that, but I have to share that with you now.
I think I would have put it more delicately.
No, that's what you look like. I'm sorry. And you remember Bobby brought us back here from South Fork.
From South Fork, right.
To set up housekeeping here. I remember I wore this little girl dress and these white gloves and these little heels because Valine was so perfect. And she had the little pigtails and the ponytails.
Yes, that accent.
That accent, well, I know. We decided after a while, let's drop the accent.
Why did we do that?
I
Because
think
nobody could stand it.
nobody could stand listening to me anymore. That was it. And thank Miss Ellie for us, Bobby.
Now, come on, Val. She doesn't want any things. Now, ever since JR broke you two up, Mom and I, we've been looking for a chance to help out.
Oh, and tell Lucy.
Wait a minute now. I thought I wasn't supposed to tell Lucy anything.
You think we ought to bring Lucy here now, don't you?
Keeping the news of your remarriage from Lucy, I don't know. She's your daughter.
The marriage was so short the first time around. This time, Val and I have to know it's going to last, because if we bring Lucy here now and we can't hack it...
No, we'll make it. It's not going to take us long, neither.
What about your character, Gary, though? You were the pet, Miss Ellie's pet.
Well, I kept saying that, you know, but I never got that impression. In the first place, I only did about 4 episodes of Dallas, and I never thought I was that special to Miss Ellie.
They said, yeah, and then they said you were the black sheep of the family. And
Well, no, he was just a drunk.
Well, yeah,
He had
you
a
were finding
gambling
your way.
problem,
You were finding your way, and it was Valley. Well, no, but
Other ways of finding your way other than ending up in alcohol.
I know.
What's the matter, Val? Don't you think I can handle a couple of drinks?
Well, sure. I just don't like drinking. You know that.
You think that little of me? Val, I can handle it.
I know. It's just that it's late, honey. That's all.
I haven't had a drink in 2 years, and you don't like the way I'm acting. Well, tough. Oh, or maybe you remember somebody better in all that time we were separated. Who was that, anyway? We never talked about that, did we?
You're the only man in my life.
I'm the man of this house, and I can handle a couple of lousy drinks. And if you don't like it, you can just trot your little bucket back to whoever rung your chimes.
Gary, now don't you talk like that, please.
I won't be talked down to in my own house.
Poor Val.
Poor
I mean,
Val.
Poor Val.
People used to ask me about, like, I said, poor Val, why don't you go back? Because she's stupid, that's why.
No, she's not stupid. She was just finding her way. Because think of how she evolved from goody two-shoes in the
then
pilot.
You left me, then you married Doug Sheehan, and what happened? He died. Then you married that psychopath.
Sam Behrens,
Yeah,
Danny
Sam
Waleska.
Behrens, right.
And then I came back to you. But at each time, each notch on the tree, she became more and more her own person. And Valine is capable and has become capable of calling the shots. I think that's what's great.
Yeah, she did. She became her own person.
Yeah, she grew.
We've got to talk. I want to know exactly what's going on.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and Abby.
Val, please, you don't understand. We can talk. We have to talk. Honey, listen to me, please. Please!
Don't do this. Do this. Come on. Val, please. No. We've been together too long. Listen. Come on. It's not like that. You gotta, Valine. Valine, damn it. Stop the car and listen to me. Val! Valine!
How much do you think that the fans wanted to see the two of us get together?
I would get asked constantly, you know, when are they going to get back together? When are they going to get back together? I don't know, I don't write this stuff. But it's one of the things that kept people watching the show.
Well, because you always keep the two characters apart that you want to see together the most.
Never put them together.
Never.
And if you do, make sure there's trouble and conflict, and then maybe
tension,
they might go,
all kinds of things, but keep them coming back every Thursday at 10 o'clock.
It's like unrequited love.
Gotta kiss the bride?
Gary, I'm afraid that would cause a terrible scandal.
I hope you're happier with Ben than you've ever been in your life.
When you left the last season,
I did.
You died in this crash. Or whatever.
Car crash.
Yes.
They wanted me to come back and do the car crash. They wanted me to go by in a drive-by, my little blonde head, so that you could react and see me explode.
Oh, my God.
What about the last episode? You thought I was dead.
Well, yeah, I buried you. Right?
And I dyed my hair black so that I could come back so that they would never know.
The character had gotten this note with flowers or something that said,
"Meet me."
Meet me, yeah. You know,
Gary shows up.
Being the moron he is, he showed up. And I'm sitting in this, it's a booth. It was a table with a booth. And I kind of look away, and then I look back, and you slid into the booth.
That's right, without you knowing
And
the
I looked,
shot.
and I was just, I'm getting chills talking about it.
But see, that's the reconnection. That's the
It was incredible.
Gary.
I had to make sure you weren't followed.
Val.
Yes.
Ellie.
Shh. Don't say anything. No one can know that I'm here. Or that you saw me.
Oh, God.
Don't react. Don't do anything, Gary. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to do this to you. Don't. We can't talk here. No, I can't. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
Let you go.
The two of them were meant for each other. I think.
Obviously. I mean, I never figured that out. I just figured there was certainly a bond there that was unbreakable.
Gary and Val, now you see? This is what I'm talking about, the connection. It's there. Gary and Val became Joan and Ted in terms of the connection from the characters to the people to the audience. And that's why they never wanted to see us apart. They never wanted to see us separated.
Well, I just hate it when my mascara runs.
Oh, I know it. Makeup, you see? See, that's what happens. But you know, that's what this place does.
No, it doesn't. It's just when I see you.
Oh, well, I've made grown men cry many times.
Yes, I've heard of that. For a good time, see Joan, she'll make you cry.
I know, I'm here. I'm telling you, that's the thing about the two of us. And when we do the reunion in 5 years, the next one.
In 25 years?
No, 5.
5?
We may not last. 5 more years. But no matter what, I'm here for you. I'm here. Always will be.
I love you so much. Let's get married.
Oh, I do love you.
I love you too.
Mac Mackenzie were the emotional anchors of Knots Landing. Friends, lovers, companions, a couple you could trust. Michele Lee and Kevin Dobson are catching up on a marriage that gave viewers hope.
You know, we said so many things about one another here. Just give me a kiss. I love you.
Oh my God.
Isn't that nice? It's nice to be together again.
No, it's more than nice.
We spent a lot of time here, a lot of years, a lot of love, a lot of development. I'll never forget when I first met you.
Yeah.
I mean, on the set. You know, once the camera rolls, there's a chemistry that happens, and I think that happened for us.
What can I do for you, Miss Fairgate?
I want you to reopen this case. I want these men in jail. They murdered my husband.
Maybe you don't read the paper. But Roy Lance and Frank Colbert were tried for auto theft, interstate transportation of stolen items, and wire fraud, not murder.
They murdered my husband! They shut him up so he couldn't testify against them. Isn't that true?
Mrs. Fairgate, I'm on your side. I'd love to help you. But the case is closed. It's finished. I can't help you. Nobody can help you. I'm sorry. However, I can take you to dinner.
You really are a creep. Now I'm going to tell you, if I didn't ever before, I had such a crush on you. I did. Oh, look at you turning red. Oh, look at you. No, seriously, the way they wrote us was delicious. From the beginning of our relationship, when we first met, remember going camping?
Oh, yeah, the fishing episode. That was nice. That was...
It was so me.
You know, I think you're right about Diana. We used to have such great communication, and now she's so angry all the time. It's just,
Karen, shut up.
What?
Don't talk.
Can't I even?
No,
But I can't help it. If I think something, I've got to say it.
not while you're fishing.
But if I...
You're scaring the fish.
You're the one who's yelling.
Because I want some quiet.
That's the way you get it, by yelling?
Is this quiet enough?
Yes!
I do have a wonderful story that I've never told you. When we had our relationship for the first time on Knots Landing, the audience had to already be in love with you and want you for Karen. There was an episode called Letting Go, where Karen went to visit Sid, and she talked to him, and she told him why she couldn't wear her wedding ring anymore. And then she took the wedding ring off. I think that taking it off my finger will mean I'm starting to let go. Not of our love or our marriage, or our beautiful, sacred memories, but of my fantasy. The one that hovers around telling me this didn't really happen. You are gone. And it's real. Well, what was happening in my life was that the wedding ring, which I happen to be wearing today, that I wore as Karen, was the ring that my father gave my mother.
Oh.
They gave to my husband to give to me to be wed in. So the ring had so much emotion and so much meaning to me. In that episode, I took off my ring and kissed it. I was taking off my father's wedding ring to my mother and my marriage ring, and I never had an excuse to ever wear it again.
Oh, that's a beautiful story.
And I know you never heard it.
Never knew it until now.
It's beautiful.
Karen, would you do me the honor of being my wife?
Probably.
I was hoping for a yes. I think I could handle a no, but I don't know how to handle problems.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, it's just, it really is a lot more complicated than it seems.
No,
it is
no,
because...
it's not complicated.
But you...
It's simple. So you either love me or you don't. If you love me, it's yes. If you don't love me, it's no. Do you love me?
Yes.
I love the things that we did. You know, we worked hard at developing this relationship so that people could relate to it, and we brought a lot of our personal lives into it.
The most important thing, I mean, in terms of our audience and who we represented to the show, was that we were truly the couple that gave hope for the survival of marriage.
It was. It's like, you know, this house and what we represented inside of it, to me, was the moral anchor of the show, where everything on either side of this house was spinning.
Right.
Spinning in and out, you know.
You're doing everything you can to help Val. We all are. There isn't anything else anyone can do. The rest is up to Val.
Why doesn't that make me feel any better?
Come to bed.
I will.
Val'll be fine. Come on. Come to bed.
I'll tell you what I loved, and I know you did too, when Michele Phillips came into our lives.
Admit it. If Mac had to choose between the two of us, he'd never choose you. You with your little tract house, your little dead-end street, your little dead-end life, with your little outdoor barbecue grill and your kiss-the-cook apron. Oh, it all makes me sick.
And I'm gonna get off the phone right now. I think we've said about...
You want to know the truth? I'll tell you the truth. I never intended to die. I intended to bring Mac to his senses. I did it so that Mac would choose between us.
I never give a gift unless it's something that I like myself. You know that? And I love hot dogs, especially when they're charcoal barbecued. I'm gonna put your names in them. You know, Karen, I love our house. And listen, I love how quiet it is on a cul-de-sac.
You were my hero.
I was your hero?
You were.
You're my hero, kid.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You know, people think of our shows as a very serious, dramatic piece, but we had some fun things.
Oh, what I loved about the show is that we could do comedy. And some of the things I love more than ever are our comedy scenes. Pure out-and-out romantic comedy.
We were able to laugh at one another. It was nice.
I laughed at you a lot, but you were never around when I did that.
Get rid of her. Karen. Karen. Oh, Karen. I have clients coming. Well, I've got an appointment. There are clients coming to steal me. Karen. Oh, Karen. Working with you, I grew as a human being, so thank you.
You're always in my heart. You know that.
Thank you.
And Mac is always in my heart.
You're love.
If my Knots Landing math is right, Abby Cunningham and Greg Sumner tied the knot 8 different times, to different people, of course. But still, that's a lot of rice. So let's get back to the reunion where Donna Mills and William Devane are having fun, sorting it all out.
Anyway, what I was saying is...
It's incredible. You still look 28. And I look 98.
It's not
How does that happen?
true. You've always been sexy, and you still are.
Yeah, old and sexy.
No. Gorgeous and sexy.
So when you think back on something like this, you know, it was your character that influenced all these unhappy women today who have jobs and are out there working hard, trying to raise kids by themselves and
I know,
all
I'm
going
so
crazy.
proud.
It was a character that you created. It was
I know.
great.
She was the woman of the 80s.
Exactly. You don't believe in anything.
Oh, come on, I do too. I believe in money and power. I don't do strings.
You spin webs.
Now and then.
Any complaints?
Not so far. I found that the women out there that I heard from, as much as Abby was a villain, they liked her and wanted to be like her. They wanted to have the same kind of power that she had. They wanted to have the same kind of...
High heels in the throat of the guy.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what they wanted. Yeah.
You bet.
Now, I like my marriage. I assume you like yours. Our lovemaking has nothing to do with that. Because if I ever have to make a choice between love and money, money's gonna win every time. Simple enough?
Couldn't be simpler. So all along, all the way up until Knots Landing, you basically played those really cute ingenue types, right?
I had that blonde thing.
Yeah, right. It was really good. And then when you got to Knots Landing, all of a sudden you became like a manipulator, a whole different kind of thing. You kind of grew up, I guess, huh?
Maybe.
Was that fun?
That was the best. I mean, I never had so much fun as I had playing Abby. To play the bad guy is the best.
Was I the bad guy?
Yeah.
I didn't think so. I always thought Mac was the bad guy, kind of deluded, you know?
You remember law school? What old Professor Jacobs used to say? A big mouth will take you a long ways, but hard facts will take you all the way, pal.
You remember law school?
Sure. I remember what they taught in that course for two-bit lawyers. When you got no case, you still got your mouth.
You have a selective memory. I remember they taught us that no one, not even Gregory Sumner, is above the law. Pal.
You were the most amazing actor to work with. One reason is because I never knew where you were going to be.
Well, we had a lot of freedom there, which was really nice. You know, we could do a lot of different things.
We did. Did you feel that kind of freedom in the sex scenes?
Well, we had so much practice, you know, that were really easy to do. You know, it's a lot
I
of
actually
work.
kind of enjoyed them.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of a drag for us, though, because every time you kissed, it was 20 minutes for you to get the lipstick back right, you know?
If you don't have the good sense to know that I'm the best thing that ever happened to you, then you're not the shrewd politician I thought you were.
Hey, I'm not talking about breaking this off. I just think we should take it easy for a while. That's long enough.
Well, my lineage was great in the sense that Howard Duff played my dad, and Ava Gardner played my mom. The only time they got together when he was in the coffin, she showed up for the funeral, and then hung around for a couple of years.
Magnificent woman.
Yeah, she was really great.
What I loved about her, she was a real broad.
Yeah.
Wasn't she? She was sort of an Abby-like character.
You came to ask me to take over Galveston Industries.
I came to bury my husband.
Your husband? Since when?
Well, if you would call me from time to time, you know, you'd know these things.
It's very difficult calling someone when you don't even know where they're sleeping.
You must mind your manners, baby. And Mommy will buy you a nice new polo pony.
You had a lot of guys, though.
Yeah, I married
You were busy.
4 times. I think. I keep thinking I forgot one, but I think it was 4 times. You being one of my faves.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
I don't remember our wedding night.
Our wedding night.
You tried to trick me into seeing me without my makeup.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow morning, I'm finally gonna get to see what you look like without your eye makeup.
Well, see, I always appreciated you much more without your makeup. I always tried to talk you into working without it.
You did. Yeah.
But you would never agree to that.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Well, that wasn't Abby. She woke up with eyelashes on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It is so good to see you. It really is.
You look the same and I don't. Really?
You've always looked sexy, and you still do.
Sure.
It's true. Well, I hope
We
it
should
continues.
probably go join the rest of them, don't you think?
Do we have to?
Because they think we're outsiders to begin with.
I know,
so
but they're all so boring.
I know it, but I'll have to go there and kind of spice it up.
All right.
What do you think? Okay.
Bon, je cherche quelque chose d'original, ou plutôt d'un peu fantaisie.
Comme un petit bouquet d'épisodes de Plus belle la vie, par exemple. Tu sais quelque chose? Vas-y, balance. Fox Life a trouvé la solution pour que vous ne ratiez aucun épisode.
Quoi?
Et oui, tous les épisodes diffusés dans la semaine sont rediffusés le week-end.
Moi, je suis pour que tout le monde s'éclate, vous savez.
Elle est pas belle, la vie? Séance de rattrapage tous les week-ends dès 10h40 sur Fox Live.
Tartare côté sud. Herbe de Provence, concombre aux ciboulettes et chèvre basilic. Toutes les saveurs du sud sont dans Tartare côté sud. Et découvrez-les aussi en portions dans l'étui saveur.
Vous avez la nostalgie attitude? Écoutez Nostalgie et gagnez des voitures de légende.
Certaines choses me surprendront toujours. Peu importe l'aspirateur que vous utilisez, même avec les plus récents, les sacs ou les filtres peuvent se boucher avec la poussière. Et c'est ce qui fait chuter l'aspiration. Mais un Dyson est différent. Il ne dépend ni d'un sac, ni d'un filtre. Son système unique utilise la force centrifuge pour séparer la poussière de l'air et rien ne se bouche. Donc, il ne perd pas d'aspiration. Rien ne se bouche. Pas de perte d'aspiration. Dyson.
De son chocolat noir, fin et intense, Côte d'Or a fait surgir la douceur inattendue des framboises. Dégustation noire framboise de Côte d'Or. Côte d'Or, toute l'intensité du chocolat.
Des mèches de 2 couleurs différentes? Pourquoi faire compliqué quand on peut faire si simple?
Innovation Schwarzkopf. Mèche duocolore par Nordic Blonde. C'est simple, un seul geste pour 2 couleurs de mèche.
C'est si facile. Et le résultat? Éblouissant.
Nouveau mèche duocolore par Nordic Blonde.
Schwarzkopf, la qualité professionnelle pour vous.
Alors vous, on peut dire que c'est votre mois.
Jusqu'au 31 octobre chez Mediatis, c'est le mois pour moi.
Enfin pour vous quoi. 3,5%. Un crédit à taux aussi mini.
C'est géant, non?
3,5%, profitez-en.
Appelez Mediatis au 0800 800 800. 0800 800 800.
Mediatis, le crédit qui a le sens du service. Élever seul son fils, gérer sa carrière, avoir une vie sentimentale, c'est pas facile, surtout quand la mère de l'enfant revient.
C'est mon fils, je peux le voir. Je comprends très bien qu'il soit difficile pour toi d'accepter tout ça.
Enfin, tu l'as abandonné pendant 1 an et demi.
Ah, c'est vous la babysitter de Calvin?
Non, c'est pas la babysitter, Ken, c'est ma compagne.
Tu as encore des sentiments pour elle?
Qu'a été sa mère, elle?
Oui, mais c'est toi qui as fait de lui le petit garçon qu'il est devenu.
Tu sais, mon chéri, c'est pas toujours facile d'être un papa.
Pas facile d'être papa avec Vince Vaughn, mercredi à 22h45 sur Fox Live.
Salut les gars!
Un pour tous et tous pour un. Ce mois-ci sur Fox Live, les copains sont plus soudés que jamais.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils appellent l'amitié virtuelle?
Dans notre cycle Les copains d'abord, un nouveau film tous les mercredis à 20h45. Des vieux copains qui se retrouvent pour un mariage, ça promet.
T'as l'intention de pas te pointer à notre mariage?
Carla et moi, on s'est disputés.
Un divorce. Je ne t'ai pas adopté, Al, je t'ai épousé.
C'est bon, au revoir.
Laisse-moi respirer, tu veux bien?
Pourquoi est-ce que tu t'échappes comme ça? Je ne te fuis pas, je ne t'aime pas. Si je me marie avec toi...
Je me demande si on ne devrait pas faire un câlin.
J'ai peur de ne jamais réussir.
Les femmes deviennent adultes plutôt que les hommes. Ce qu'on nous dit pas, c'est que certains mecs ne deviennent jamais adultes.
Kevin Bacon, Jamie Lee Curtis, John Malkovich, de l'autre côté de Manhattan, mercredi à 20h45 sur Fox Live.
They were the original Desperate Housewives, Karen McKenzie, Val Ewing, and Abby Cunningham.
3 very different women trying to juggle the duties of home and life beyond the cul-de-sac.
Joan, Donna, and Michele are having fun reminiscing. Where else but in the McKenzie kitchen?
Would you like a little more, Joni?
Oh, always. Coffee for me and my friend.
You're good.
Friend? Yes,
This
friend.
table brings back such memories, doesn't it? Gosh,
For the
all
kitchen.
the scenes that we ever did.
It's the
In
confessional
kitchen,
room. Heart to heart. Val would spill her guts to Karen.
Yes, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, you can sit and...
I wasn't a friend.
Well,
you
yes,
certainly
you
weren't.
were.
We never liked you.
I know. I never liked you.
Or Abby.
I know.
Either one. You know, I just love what TV Guide said about us. I don't know if you remember. They said that the 3 women on Knots Landing are like earth, wind, and fire. Earth being Karen, Michele.
Oh, no, I was fire.
No, that was Abby
fire.
was fire,
Yes.
and I was wind.
Yes.
Of course, Valine was wind.
Oh, yes. What I remember most, we did a scene in here with a problem that I had. I think I was always a problem, and we were talking about our problems right up here.
Gary had an affair. You're kidding. No.
And then we get together head to head.
And
I
we didn't
remember
know
the
what
end.
to do. What are we going to do? And we just looked at each other and said,
Let's go get a pizza.
Let's get a pizza.
Val and Karen, real girlfriends. Even in the sweater scene. The sweater scene was what woman on nighttime continuing drama says I'm fat? Nobody does.
Oh my, this used to fit.
It's fine.
I look fat.
Karen, you... Wait a minute, come here. Come here. Okay, now lean.
What?
Pull back like you're skiing. Pull. Go. Back. There. God. Did the cleaner shrink it?
I don't know. It was a big sweater.
The scene that I remember that was the hardest for me to do with you, and because Abby and Val were not exactly best buds. No. Abby and no girlfriend, all boyfriends.
I didn't have any girlfriend.
That's right, you had all boyfriends.
Yes.
But I marched across the cul-de-sac when I heard that you and Gary had had the affair, and opened the door, and there you are in this gorgeous pink robe, terry robe, looking drop dead as always.
Are you and my husband having an affair? What? You heard me. You're letting your writer's imagination run away with you. Don't play games with me, Abby. Oh, here we go again, wicked, wicked Abby.
But do you remember what you said? You said to me, are you having an affair or aren't you?
Well, I'm not saying we're having an affair, and I'm not saying we're not. I am saying I can have him anytime I want him. Oh. Does that answer your question, Val?
You were a really good bitch. You
The
really
best.
were. You were the best.
The best
Cheers
bitch.
to bitches.
Right, all right. Do you think the audience realized that we were sister-in-laws?
Probably not.
Oh, look, my brother was married to you. Yeah.
Talk about first husband,
I know,
second husband,
and I
third.
still never liked her.
It never changed. It never changed.
I never trusted
No,
you.
you didn't.
With good reason.
But there was a time when her daughter, Diana, needed a kidney. Yeah, I was the one who matched, and I was the one they wanted to do it.
Abby? You don't have to say anything, Karen. I'm doing this because I have to. For Diana. For my brother's child. And for myself, so I won't have to live with the guilt of having refused. But I am not doing it for you.
Well, can't I...
No. I don't want you here. I don't want us to be civil to each other, and I don't want you to pretend like you like me all of a sudden. If you want to show your gratitude, save a whale in my name.
And I kissed your forehead.
You did? You did?
With great love.
She knew. Took
forbid that she would
everything
know.
that I had to keep my eyes closed.
She didn't want to see it.
God, she's going to kiss me.
Oh, God.
Love,
We had
love,
great
love.
times.
There was all kinds of love on the show.
It was family. She became family.
I did.
And I did.
So you couldn't be
I
too
looked
mad
at
at me
you.
after that because my kidney was in your kid.
Mothers and daughters,
Mothers and daughters. You know what? We were great mothers.
We were all moms. I mean, each one of us were different moms. You with the drug story with Olivia. With Olivia. The audience loved that because I broke down the door of the bathroom with an axe to get to her.
Mom, stop Brian, it! Come on, Mom! Go to bed, Brian! Now! Mom! All right, give it to me. Give it to me. I don't have anything. Give it to me. I don't have anything! You stand over here. Stop it! Go to bed, Brian. You stand right there and don't you move.
And then I took her in the house and wouldn't let her out.
Yeah, tough love says you get out of there. You know, you kick them out of the house. And what you did was the opposite.
Locked them in.
You
locked them in.
Stop it!
Give me the keys.
Olivia, just stop it.
Give me the keys.
Olivia!
Just give me the keys.
People wrote to me after that and said, "Oh, right, that's the way you've got to treat it. I'm having that problem with my kid. Okay, I'm going to come in on it and really deal with it."
Oh, no, no, you don't. Don't you look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Look what you did to him! You're drunk. Olivia! Marty! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Another mother-daughter, and this one goes a little bit to you, was my storyline with the twins.
Yeah.
I was given a gift.
When that doctor looked at you
Yeah.
and said, your babies didn't make it, and your take, which was like 5 seconds on camera, on your eyes, was pure Joan Van Ark magic.
I'm afraid that we lost the babies.
What?
I'm sorry. There was nothing we could do. They were stillborn.
But I saw them. I heard them cry.
Well, it's a natural reaction. You were under sedation. The mind plays little tricks.
No. I heard them crying.
I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
Abby accidentally set that emotion, the twins being stolen, by saying something to some character that she was working with, who then went and stole the twins,
Yeah,
and she found out about it. She knew about it, but she didn't know where they were. She didn't really have anything to do with it, because I had said to David Jacobs,
I don't want to be responsible.
If you want the audience to really hate me and never want me back,
That's right.
You know, you can't have me responsible for that.
Are you saying that you think the babies are still alive?
The doctor told Val they were stillborn. If he was wrong about that, he could be wrong about everything.
Karen McKenzie found me yesterday.
What?
I don't like the questions she asked.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
If I go down, you go down with me.
Ackerman, it's over! Let's go, Ackerman!
They told me your babies are alive.
They found the babies.
Where? Come on.
The babies were adopted illegally.
No.
They were taken from their natural mother without her permission.
I ended up being responsible for getting them back to
me.
you.
Which?
Remember
Do you want them back? Do you remember that scene at me coming down the stairs with my hair all wet, and you bring the twins in, and there's Lily Mae getting the door.
Darlene!
What I remember most with my kids, and I had 3 first with Sid, was just our real mommy moments. You know, I had real mother moments with them.
What if there's something wrong with me? What if I'm always scared? What if I'm always uncomfortable?
There's nothing wrong with you. When it's the right time, with the right person, you help each other through it. And then you feel not lonely at all.
I do remember with such great affection the show about putting on a charity And I talked my daughter Diana into
Singing with you? Oh, I'll never forget it. With the legs on this one.
Last Valentine's Day. This one again sent us.
Oh, yes.
It says forever tied. And down on the bottom, in knots. And I look so good in this picture.
And I look so strange. You know what? The truth is that we did all this Sturm and Drang and up and down and all the storylines, but we are.
1, 2. We are 3 great broads.
Yeah!
If we do say so ourselves.
The original Desperate Housewives.
Knots Landing made its debut in December of 1979. From the beginning, one of the show's greatest strengths was how it reflected the pulse and truth of the times.
Supporters of the Equal Rights Amendment gathered once again yesterday. Passage of ERA is highly improbable.
You're always working for some good cause. You're damn right I am. The ERA is your cause, too.
Over a span of 4 presidential administrations, our story mirrored the changes in America that millions of viewers were experiencing.
Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. The often deadly disease was unknown 5 years ago.
What do you know about safe sex?
You mean safe sex against AIDS?
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna go all the way, you have to have a condom.
When Knots Landing moved into the 80s, it reflected the relentless ambition of the me decade.
Let's go to some wickedly expensive restaurant, order champagne and caviar and toast them.
Wild extravagance. Is that what you want?
Yes, please.
Corporate deception and scandals were on the rise.
Nearby chemical companies are under investigation. Rusty barrels have been found leaking dangerous chemicals.
For God's sake, poison in the ground, poison in the water, poison in people's bodies.
If social issues gained prominence, our cul-de-sac lived them.
If we have this baby, I'm the one who has to raise it.
We both have to raise it, and if you're thinking of not having it, that's something we both have to talk about.
We are not carrying this baby. I am.
You want to know the worst thing about not being able to read? It keeps a person's life so small.
As America's war on drugs made headlines, Knots boldly tackled the issue of drug addiction. When First Lady Betty Ford publicly discussed her addictions, we used Karen, the series' moral center, to say this could happen to anybody.
What was the name of the drug?
I'm not
Can you
really
remember?
sick, you know.
Do you have any of the pills with you?
I took them all.
Moving into the last decade of the 20th century, Knots Landing continued to dramatize relevant issues, including a growing fear in America.
Mr. Reagan suffered a wound in his left chest from a .22 caliber bullet.
Bernhard Goetz shot 4 teenagers after they apparently tried to rob him.
Part-time postal worker opened fire on his co-workers, killing 14.
Crime was on the rise. Our anxiety was mounting. And one morning, the dam broke as Karen McKenzie expressed what so many viewers were feeling.
I hate it that I can't trust anyone. I hate it that I can't put my daughter on the front lawn by herself. I hate it that I have to lock my car and I have to worry about an alarm system in my house and I can't send cash in the mail. That's not the way it's supposed to be, Gary. I liked being a Pollyanna. I want to be a Pollyanna.
Knots Landing aired its last episode in 1993.
Sayonara, Blondie.
Like America, we had grown. We were wiser. We still believed in love. And none of us would ever be the same again.
The women on Knots Landing, each in their own way, were women of strength. They accepted, even enjoyed the role of housewife, except Abby. But they also dreamt of other possibilities. Valene became a published writer. Karen found she had a knack for business. CG became a recording artist. Abby broke through the glass ceiling, showing women in America they could do it too. Another signature of the women on Knots. was a sense of style. The clothes that Karen, Paige, CG, and Abby wore represented some of the best fashion designers of the 80s. Even poor Val, whose wardrobe consisted mainly of slacks and a man's shirt, got to put on a beautiful gown now and then. I had fun catching up with Joan, Lisa Hartman-Black, and Michele Phillips, where we got down to some real girl talk.
It is. It's silly.
Or just a little
Charlie.
Charlie.
Right, chasing Lily.
Well, that keeps you checking.
Yeah.
Well, look
There.
who's here,
Hi.
Miss Gorgeous Abby.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
We're fabulous, all right?
We're pretty hot.
But you know, I have to tell you that the women of Knots Landing always were glamorous and strong.
It speaks a lot about the confidence. All of us individually, I think, are very confident in our real lives, and I think that all the characters
Brought that
have
in.
Yeah.
But all the women had a focus and they wanted to live their own lives. They didn't want to just live through their men.
It just always amazes me how much you know about.
Somebody has to pay attention to those things. You certainly don't.
That's why I married you.
I'm tired of waiting for us to start working things out together. We have to do this as a team. If we're going to be husband and wife, we have to decide on things together, make decisions together.
Stupid of me to think that you could be reasonable. You just stay away from us.
Stay away?
Yes! Do you think you can do that?
Looks like I'll have to manage on my own. But I've done that before.
That's a very special quality, I think, that is lacking in a lot of shows, and I think that's why it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah. A wonderful thing about the show. The wardrobe was so important.
Yeah, that was Abby's look, that you had a
But we
look.
set trends. We set trends on this show. You know, Abby's clothes, even now, I think were great. I look back at those shows and I go, they're dated, they're from a certain era,
right?
The clothes, but
they're
they
the
were
best.
fabulous.
No more polyester knits. Looks like the real thing.
Whatever it was, we all had our own look.
Well, do you remember the show I did where I buried Peter Hollister?
Oh, yes.
And never got my clothes dirty.
Oh, but that's Ab. That's Ab. No, Ab.
And then hair. I mean, we all had the biggest hair.
Supposedly, I came back in a mullet one year.
What's a mullet?
A mullet is that look with the longer back and the short front.
Oh.
And it's a guy's look, basically, so I'm not sure.
What?
I like it.
I think American women were fascinated.
Tune in every week to see what they were wearing.
The Knots Landing ladies.
Looking at them.
I know you did.
You were always the funny one.
Oh, Darlene.
But you know what? I think the real success of our show, or at least part of the reason why we were so successful, was the writing.
Yes.
A lot of social issues became storylines and like that, like drugs, alcohol,
Right.
spousal abuse.
Literacy. I had one. Literacy.
Homelessness.
Oh, yes, you had that makeup scene at the makeup counter.
Oh, wasn't that amazing?
I
That was
was-
one of the most poignant, sad scenes
Oh,
that I have ever
remember.
done. I was dirty, and I walked into a department store, and they said, well, I would like to have my makeup done. And then they bust me, and they make me leave when I've got one eye done.
Excuse me. You left this in the restroom, lady.
No, I didn't.
This isn't the Salvation Army. If you don't want me to throw it away, take it and go.
How dare you? All right, I'll leave. But would you please finish me?
You heard him. Go.
I'll just take it off then. They took normal people, like normal relationships, good marriages, like you guys had a great marriage, but you had problems. When you had your pharmaceutical problems, people must have thought, my God, we're not the only couple who has this problem.
Karen, you need medical attention.
We'll go see Dr. Wilson. He's my doctor.
Dr. Wilson doesn't know how to deal with a drug problem.
I don't
Or else you wouldn't
have
have
a drug
prescribed in the first
problem.
place.
Don't you treat me like a junkie or something.
I mean, I think people were looking for solutions.
That's one of the longevity factors, because people related. You had that wonderful scene in the car with the young boy who was abused.
Actually, it was one of the most wonderful pieces of work that I have ever seen.
Your dad hit you.
You don't understand.
When I was 6 years old, I was running through the house and I knocked over a lamp and it broke. And my dad beat the hell out of me. He just didn't spank me. Hit me with his fist. Gave me 2 black eyes. You don't have to live the rest of your life denying it the way I have. Tell me to take you someplace else, kid. Just tell me to take you someplace else.
Take me someplace else.
That was what was wonderful also, that they would write the underpinnings of what the character was and the backstory, and there'd be these wonderful flip-flops in character.
Alan Ball, when he went up to collect the first Emmy for 6 Feet Under, he said, well, you know, I've always seen 6 Feet Under as Knots Landing in a funeral home. Yes, that's exactly what he said when he accepted. I thought, whoa!
After a while, it was a collaboration. When you can create a character over 9 years, 14 years, it's, you know, it's an amazing thing that people don't get to do.
Here, I just happen to have a pillow, because I was always giving gifts and pillows, and this pertains to the producers and the writers and the difference between Knots Landing and everything else out there. The quote from TV Guide is, on Dallas and Dynasty, the writers are writing the story for the characters. On Knots Landing, the writers are letting the characters write their own story. TV Guide.
Bravo. Do you remember in the first or second year of the show, I had an affair with John Plachette?
You had an affair with everybody.
Oh, yes, I know. It's hard to keep them all straight, actually. We were doing this very sexy hot tub scene, and the guy who was putting in the hot water never put the hot water in the hot tub, so it was freezing, freezing cold. So I get in there, and I'm like, this. So every time he touched me, I'd go, and the network saw it, and they thought that every time he touched me, I was having an orgasm. Excited, more excited.
I've been told I have good hands.
You do. They're strong, but they're gentle, too.
And they thought it was the sexiest scene they'd ever seen.
My very first day on Knots Landing, I'm singing a song. I stand up and do my thing, and Abby comes in. So I'm sitting there, and now it's Donna's close-up, Abby's close-up, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Abby. Nice to I mean, I'm mortified saying it. I'm sure I'm beat red. She did that to me my first day, and I went, I'm dead. I'm never going to survive.
That is funny.
You kind of loosened me up.
Yeah, you loosened me up.
Okay, you guys ready? What is a reunion without bloopers?
You really doing it?
Yes, I'm really doing it. There we go.
Hello? Something incredibly horrible happened.
What could be so incredibly horrible?
There's no one left in the cast that we haven't slept with.
All right, I'm at St. Agnes Hospital.
All right.
All right, bye.
If you want to see this money, I'm sorry.
I figured you for a solid 10, Finnegan.
As if trying to come up with an alternative, as if we weren't trying to come up with a whole, what the Last night we were kind of trying to...
Because you know I can't say I don't want you to feel safe or unsafe.
What?
You know that you want, that I want, that I don't want, that you can say, I can't say, that you can say to feel safe.
It's kind of stupid to threatening a dying... By the way, isn't it stupid to threatening? Hard to talk when you got in your ears.
Okay, bring in Joan's highlight. Joan's highlight. Too small, bigger. Highlight flying in. More up here. Highlight. Give me a bigger one. How many? Highlight. Bigger. That's too small. Bring in a light. Now you're talking. Bring in a...
She's dead. She hated you.
Karen, hold it a second.
I've been waiting 5 seasons to do this. Let me at her.
Oh, no! Oh, him too! Oh, no!
Go ahead.
You know, I think we did something on this show that was unique in the annals of series television. We improvised a script. It was the 200th episode, talking about Laura's death, and we went to David Jacobs' house.
Right. In character.
In character. We could not be ourselves. We couldn't talk on the phone. We couldn't do anything. We had to be the characters the whole day.
How long did this go on? How long
2
did you
days.
film?
And then the writers watched all the tapes and wrote the script that was the 2-parter.
Why didn't you tell me Laura was dying?
Because you don't have to tell secrets, Val. Everything you know is written all over your face. People can see for miles
Did you tell Mac? Did you answer me, Karen? Did you tell Mac?
Yes.
Then you did tell somebody else, even though Laura asked you not to.
He's my husband.
And I'm your friend. You all think that Valine can't handle it. Well, I'm here to tell you I can.
Nobody.
Karen, you talk to me when you're ready to talk to me as an equal. Otherwise, you don't talk to me at all.
There was a scene at the end of the episode where we're all sitting in Sumner's den, and Laura said goodbye. And he told her what he really felt in a way that the audience was blown away.
Laura left some farewell messages on a videotape. I'm going to go in the den and play it.
There have been a lot of people in my life who said they loved me, but you were the only one that made me feel truly loved. Of course, you had a weird way of doing it, but it worked.
You left me in a bad spot, Red. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Why'd you leave me all alone? I can't figure why you left me all alone. I love you. I hope I don't end up hating you.
Maine's character, Sumner, he was very compassionate toward everyone.
I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
It's the piece of the character that you never see. It's under
The flip side.
The flip side of the character.
This show had so many plot twists and turns. That was the wonderful thing, I think. Nobody ever knew what to expect. It was
Right.
unpredictable.
180 degrees each
I
time
remember
something
one.
different.
I remember one with Ted. Remember Ted? You got dead. Weren't
Who
you?
killed me?
Weren't
No,
you?
they killed her.
No, forget CG.
And her.
The show was on so long that we don't remember the episode.
I was shot. That's right. I
And
was
you
shot.
were in we went to a funeral.
That's right.
Everybody was upset that you weren't coming
I
back.
don't remember. I was dead.
I'm just wondering, how did you feel, Lisa, about going away and being out of the show and then being asked to come back?
To come back on the show and be terrified, to, whether it was going to work or not, and to have it work and have us all have so much more fun. And I love you guys too and still do. It was so great.
It was. It was such a family.
Isn't it amazing how many actors got their break, their first shot on Knots Landing?
Who was that guy who was here with you last week?
My lawyer.
Can I have his phone number?
You need some legal advice?
Heck no.
You guys gonna be clearing out some timber?
Some timber. We're taking out everything.
What are you talking about?
Well, he told us to clear cut the whole thing.
I baked for myself.
You mean the servants actually allow you in the kitchen, huh? Hey, I was just kidding.
Are you going to tell me what you were arrested for?
Soliciting, turning tricks, whatever you want to call it. What'd you call it when you were on the streets, honey?
Does your mommy know you're out?
Are you kidding?
Come on, you're a big girl, Jill. You gotta get out of the house sometime.
Go for it.
I think you should do whatever it is you want to do. And let me do it with you.
You'd sleep with me?
Well,
I want you to tell me how much you want it first.
We have to tribute and celebrate Julie Harris, who was my mama, Lily Mae.
The sweetheart.
I remember we would finish and Julie would go off and do a one-woman show. I just was so amazed by that.
4 Tonys, or maybe it's even more, I don't know, but
Probably more,
many nominations. A brilliant actress, and she brought all that class.
Lord preserve my sinner's soul.
But I do believe it's more blessed to give than to receive. And God knows you gave me plenty of opportunity to give. I let you down that night you came running to me with Lucy and begged me to take her in, and I had more selfish things on my mind.
Hey, stop that. That's all behind us
But I'm
now.
not like that anymore. I never dreamed I'd have a second chance in life. Don't you even care about Valine and those children?
It's not up to me.
Kathy?
It's not up to Valine, and please don't lay that on me.
It's not.
Look, Lily Mae, I don't want to talk about
Kathy!
I remember we had a scene coming up, and I called her over the weekend. I said, Julie, how can we make this special? Not one more coffee scene in the kitchen. She said, well, I've just cut my hair. We could give me a perm.
Good. Yep. Contains no lie. Well, I should hope not. Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lie.
Mama, you are being silly.
Well, why shouldn't I be? This vibrant, glossy perm has gone to my head.
I never let her know, but you were tufts of hair in the sink.
No, are you kidding? No, I'm not.
No, it was part of the scene.
Valine, I'm hot!
Okay, we need Major Mops and Kleenex, please.
Gorgeous. You look gorgeous. Gorgeous. I can't do this.
So good to see you.
Julie, wonderful. Thank you.
Kleenex.
You are.
We were survivors in so many ways, 14 years with such competition, LA Law, Hill Street Blues.
But the fans never, ever, ever forgot. They stayed with us and hung in there.
350 episodes.
No, wait.
344 episodes we did. The last episode we shot was mind-boggling for us because, it was really saying goodbye to our family. And it was hard. I remember the day. Ted, you were out of your mind. You were emotional. I have never seen you emotional.
Even Ted.
Are you kidding?
Like a rock. Even Bill.
I'm like Devane. I don't get
We all
emotional.
were walking around.
I think I was written out of that episode.
No, you were not.
No, we
The
couldn't
last
look at
day
each
was
other.
at the McKinsey kitchen.
Yeah, it was very late, like 3 in the morning. We almost couldn't do the scene.
If there is danger, we will face it together. The 4 of us. The way we always have. Don't you ever leave again. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Never again. We all need you. I promise.
It's really amazing that we spent so much time together, 14 hours a day, 5 days a week.
And you didn't get killed?
I didn't get killed. But I fell in love. I fell in love with new friends and long-lasting acquaintances.
And that's
I appreciate that.
That's a bond that's going to last, I think, for all of us. Here we are now, and it doesn't matter how many years go by. We're all going to stay connected and together.
And it truly is like high school friends. There are some people that you don't have to see all the time, but the minute you see them, it's like no time has gone by. Forever.
Well, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I think maybe. What about
What a good idea.
What do you think?
Yeah. To our family, our television family, and to our characters, the characters we played.
And to all the friendships that have lasted and all the moments that we've shared together, makeup trailer everywhere. And
Yes.
And our faithful fans too. We don't want to forget them.
Through everything. Love conquered all.
Here's to you.
Here's to you.
To Knots
Landing.
Yeah.
Lying beside you, here in the dark, feeling your heartbeat with mine.
want hugs.
And that's how I'll always remember them. My family, my friends, my neighbors, and the life we shared in Knots Landing.
Banque et populaire à la fois. ABS.
Ok.
Contrôle de trajectoire.